You won't find Roosevelt Avenue and 73rd Street in most New York City visitors' guides. But photographer Jeff Liao found an amazing microcosm of cultures and imagery in this working-class neighborhood. And the result is a stunning collection of new images in a brand new book, Habitat 7. In today's Kodak Close-Up, Jeff talks about how he uses large format transparency film to create his rich, detailed panoramic images. Jeff also talks about his techniques and how digital imaging really helps his photos come alive. So here now, a Kodak Close-Up with Jeff Liao.
I'm working as an artist. I don't shoot for magazine or assignment. So all the project is consigned by myself, and I go out to do the project, to do the book, and with a 8x10. So every single picture is not by chance, or you have to do scouting first, then several times, and you know that day what time the lighting is good, and certain people will be there. That's why I need them to be there. So I'll go there and set the camera there. When I was in high school in Vancouver, and I applied interior design and photography. Then I got accepted by RIT and Pratt, right? Then I decided I have to go photography. Then I choose Pratt because Pratt's in New York City. Then I came here. Then 4 years later, then I applied my graduate school, School of Visual Art, and which is a really good school to train as an artist, which is great. And I strongly suggest if you want to be an artist, you need to be trained. I mean, there are certain ways to become artists, but SVA just make me realize what a complete idea of an artist instead of you try a lot of different things. I was doing several internships as a press photographer, but which just doesn't make me feel right because it's too rushed, and the content of the picture usually is, I feel it's very surface. So you just do and make the event happen and recording the thing. You actually don't have much chance to study your subject, and you understand them and you know them better and you take better picture. It's Habitat 7 because I live in there. I live in the middle of subway for the last 8 years. And this project was started about 4 years ago. And actually I had the idea developed a long time ago, but just didn't know what to do. I was a black and white photographer. I'm still a black and white photographer. But at the time of the shooting portrait on the street, but just didn't make sense until I switched to color. Everything makes sense. And why I do this project, how I did this project, and because it's I usually joking with my friend, this is my hood, my neighborhood, yeah. So I understand the whole environment pretty well, and you know, this Queens, north part of Queens, under number 7 is such a diverse area. I think probably the most diverse area on earth. And when you're riding number 7 from Manhattan back to, let's say, Flushing, so when the train goes to Sunnyside, so all the Irish, all the Greek will get off. Then Jackson High, that's where I live, all the Indian, Middle East will get off. Then later on is Latino. The last 2 stops will be Korean and Chinese. So you will see it's very interesting to just sit in the train and watch people, how they get off. And the only language you're probably not going to hear is English on the train. And that's such interests me so much. And I'm part of them because I'm coming here to, let's say, chasing American dream. We get a better lifestyle. All the people on the train, we are all thinking about the same, and that motivate me so much to come in this project. That was a 3 years project, and I finished the end of last year. Usually, my work is more like a sociological study. I studied a particular place like Queens. That was pretty. Right now, I'm working on a project about Shea Stadium. So I have to dig out all the history of who designed the shape and what's going on. Do you know the Beatles had a concert in Shea? Can you believe? And John was playing the football there, and Yankee was there when they are doing the renovation of Yankee Stadium. So that's a lot of history about that place. And now they are building another new stadium, City Field, next to it. So, and they're going to tear down the whole thing. So that interests me. What I call is circle of life. So this new era is coming up, and the old one is going down. So I'm doing that, and I study the owner, the history, the designer, everything. Then I come up with the idea. Then I approach Matt, and they gave me the permission now. So I can shoot every single game and go to the construction site all the time. What I've been doing is I shoot 8x10, I jump scan, then I put them together in the Photoshop, then I digital output it. That's what I'm doing. And which is a good combination now, because there are so many variety of process you can have this day. I think it's the happiest time for photographer. And I think people don't need to concern like, okay, film is dying, or okay, digital can do better. I don't feel that way. I feel as an artist or as a student, you can just go out and try different things and find something you really like. And I stick with film because when you're holding the film, you're looking at 8x10 chrome all the time. You just cannot get out of, like, if you're 2 1/4 or digital file in the computer. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't feel right for me. And as for me, when you shoot digital, you just continue to shoot a lot of picture, and it end up with okay picture. But with 8x10, I say, okay, I have 10 shots. I have to make it happen. You have to make it happen. That's what I'm doing. Yeah. I used to use a lot of EPP and EPN. And let's talk about when I was a student. You know, a student, you cannot afford 8x10 chrome and shooting 20 of it. And I usually, in New York City, a great thing is there are a lot of camera stores. I went to find the outdated film. I got a bunch of them every time. That's what I'm doing. And I use a lot of EPP before. And now E100G has I feel the grain is smaller. Because I usually jump scan and enlarge it to see the grain, and now the grain is disappearing, which is great. And E100G has slightly better contrast than EPP, and which is great for me is now I'm switching from modern lens to barrel lens, the classic lens, and usually the old lens has a lower contrast. So this is a really good combination for me to twist. And I create some color which is I cannot create with a modern lens. So that is this is a good. It's all good now. I would describe my work as a high definition, which is interesting. A teacher of mine told me that Jeff used to introduce your work as a high definition. Yes, I am doing. You know, 8x10. When you show 8x10. The film can see more than your human eye can see. And I use several 8x10 to put together a picture. And people usually will just stare at my picture all the time. And there was an interesting time when I had an opening last year. Usually, you know, during the opening, people would just drink and chat. But my opening was like really quiet, and people were looking at the picture. I was like, that was my first one. I was like, there's something wrong. And no people talking. But that was, yeah. And later on, I noticed people actually very interesting about my detail, and which is great for me too. I'm not sure when the digital can catch up in that clarity of 8x10 and color, but I still feel 8x10 can do better in commercial or fine art, or let's say all the editorial job. Very difficult this day because there's too many photographers. But the one thing is you have to understand yourself. You love photography. If you really love it, you will push it, and that will make things happen. If you are mediocre, I mean, in professional photography, it's very difficult, very difficult. You have to push it all the time. I also want to go to Alaska. But I don't know what I'm going to do in there. But sometimes you live in a city too long and too many things going on, too many stress. You just need to get out and relax for a few months and come back. So that's what I want.